Hello, welcome to the presentation on Wangel's A-Level Chemistry. My name is Miss Fellows Freeman, I'm the Head of Science at Wangel's, and in this presentation I'm going to be running through the structure of the course and the kinds of things that you can expect if you choose to study A-Level Chemistry at Wangel's here with us. If you've got any questions or you want any further information after this presentation, feel free to drop an email to chem@wangels.wokingham.sch.uk, or you can find us on Twitter at Wangels Science. So we do have some grade requirements. The A-Level Chemistry course is an entirely examined course, and in our experience, students who don't meet the grade requirements really struggle to access the course and certainly to succeed. So we ask that students entering the course have got either a grade 6 in GCSE chemistry or a grade 6 in combined science GCSE. We genuinely have no preference about separate science or combined science GCSE. If they are mastering those exam questions to that extent in either course, we have every confidence that they'll be able to move on and make good progress at A-level. We do also ask for a grade 6 in maths GCSE. The A-level chemistry course has got a good amount of maths skills embedded within the course, and without that 6 we find students will tend to struggle. We sometimes have had students who take the core maths option that Wangel's offers to support with their chemistry skills, particularly as they move into the second year. And some of our students do take maths A-level alongside chemistry, but you absolutely do not have to. So A-level chemistry exists as a subject within the science departments. So we've got 5 chemistry teaching labs and 3 experienced A-level chemistry teachers, as well as 3 science technicians who are very used to producing a lot of practical for A-level chemistry. Lots of our teaching is via practical and using practical, particularly in terms of solving a problem and working out what might be going on in a reaction or in a process. Okay. There will be specific practical skills as part of your A-level chemistry that you will need to master. Things like organic synthesis, which means making particular compounds. You will need to know how to make particular compounds. You will need to know how to purify things. You will need to know how to analyze chemicals. Okay, and those things will be very useful if you're going to go on and carry on studying chemistry, if you're going to carry on and study medicine, if you're carrying on and study life sciences at university or vocationally as you move on. But even if you don't end up doing that, those skills will stand you in good stead in terms of being able to show that you can operate complicated machinery safely, that you can use chemicals safely, that you've got good attention to detail, that you can use those problem solving and critical thinking skills. So as well as the specific skills that are part of that A-level, there's a huge range of wider skills that you will be using and you will be developing as part of your A-level chemistry. So because practical is so embedded in our course, there are 12 required practicals that you need to do that is part of the exam board specified practicals, and those cover a huge range of techniques and apparatus. But chemistry is at its heart a practical subject. There are a huge number of non-required practicals that we will use to develop those practical skills and also to enhance your understanding of the theory that you are studying. Okay. Like all of the science A-levels, we run our courses over 2 years. It's a 2-year A-level, but the first year also overlaps with the AS. So we do have some students who will choose to do 4 subjects in the first year, and then at the end of the 4th year, we'll take an AS in 1 or 2 of the subjects, and then we'll choose to drop 1. You will need to carry on 3 all the way to the end, but they will choose to drop 1. And for chemistry, the AS course content completely overlaps with the year 1 content. So it wouldn't be a different class if that was something you chose to do. We would just need to know that you were taking the exam so we could prepare you for the exam rather than just carry on teaching and preparing you for the exam at the end of the 2-year course. The A-level exams themselves cover content from the whole 2 years, and they're at a higher demand. And the practical activities kind of increase their complexity for the full A-level. We also do OCR Chemistry A. So if you're looking at the course structure, you want to look a little bit more, we study OCR Chemistry A. So these are the topics that we cover in the first year, kind of split into 3 modules. We start off with kind of a consolidation really of the GCSE work on atoms and moles, and then we start off really making sure those are embedded, and then we develop those ideas a lot faster than we do at GCSE, obviously, and in a lot more detail. But all of these things, even words that you've not seen before, like enthalpy, that is an idea that you've studied at GCSE, bond energies, that we are now looking at in more detail. So the vast majority of the content is a continuation from GCSE. Okay, and you can see that there are 6 practicals that are required for the first year, but we actually complete 7 of them in the first year so that we can work on any skills or techniques you need to work on in more detail in the second year. Okay, if you did decide to do the AS, you'd have to do 2 exams, each an hour and a half, each worth 50%. But both of those exams would assess the whole of the first year. Like I said, the vast majority of people carry on and do 2 years. And in the second year, we look in a lot more depth at some of the ideas that we've introduced in the first year. We look at acids and buffers, we look at redox, we look at transition elements, which is a topic that's really interesting, but you don't really study that much at GCSE. All of those molecules and elements that are in the middle of the periodic table that we just jump over at GCSE because they're a bit complicated. You look at those in a lot more detail, as well as a lot of organic work. So looking at compounds that are related to carbon, and particularly looking at spectroscopy, looking at studying how do I know what is in my test tube? How can I work out what I have got in my test tube? Have I made what I thought that I made? At the end of that 2-year course, you will have your full A-level, which is 3 exams. The way that the course is broken up, it's not as straightforward as year 1, year 2, year 3. You can see that modules 1 and 2 are assessed in all of the papers. Those are kind of fundamental chemistry modules that are assessed in every single paper. And then 3 and 5 are assessed in paper 1, 4 and 6 also assessed in paper 2, and then everything in that unified chemistry paper at the end. And alongside that 3 exam structure is our practical endorsement, which we assess you on in the classroom. Okay. Once you have your chemistry A-level, that you've worked hard, you've solved lots of problems, you've developed some wonderful skills, there's a huge range of things you can go on afterwards. You can go straight into work and develop yourself vocationally, maybe doing calculations, going straight into things like applied science and pharmaceutical science. You can look at apprenticeships, things like pharmacy assistants, lab technicians, all sorts of things. And then academic subjects. You can go on and carry on study chemistry at A-level. A few of our chemists are medics. They want to carry on and do medicine. Chemistry is a requirement for all medicine courses. So lots of students choose those kind of medicine or health related fields. And there's lots of related subjects that your chemistry A-level is going to really support you if you choose to continue to study them. Okay, we've got a range of online resources to help support you. You continue to have access to Caboodle, which is the online resource hub with digital versions of your textbooks. If you're a Wangel student, those textbooks are there now. You can have an explore of Caboodle and have a look at the A-level textbooks. We carry on using Seneca. To some extent, it's a free online resource, but it's got that content, that recall base that helps develop those skills. And we use something called Focus e-learning, which is online software that allows you to carry out simulations of your practical work. So either before the practical or afterwards, if you've forgotten quite what happened, if you're revising for an exam and you can't remember what you did, you can use Focus e-learning to look at the simulation of the practical. I hope that whistle-stop tour through chemistry at Wangels has helped. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email at chem@wangels.wokingham.sch.uk or find us on Twitter. Or if you come to Wangels, feel free to pop in and ask us anything. Thank you very much.